This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. Tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to Tyler Kolek because I know that's what people want right now. But we're going to talk about the game first, folks. I'm not impressed by the win. I hate to say it. I'm not impressed by this win. The Knicks had a 33-point lead, and they actually allowed the Washington Wizards, the worst team in the NBA, to cut the lead to 7. Come on, bro. I don't know. I'm just I'm not excited right now with what I'm seeing from our basketball team, even though we won the basketball game and it was a win that we needed. We needed to get this win. It's like we limped to it. You know what I mean? It's like we limped to it. I can't get behind. A 33-point lead and we cut it to 7, and they cut it to 7 or to 4. I thought it was 7. That's crazy. That's wild business to me against the worst team, against a team that's playing G Leaguers, or maybe not G Leaguers, but very, very young players. Besides a couple of, they got a couple of legitimate NBA players on the floor. But come on, man, 4. Yeah, I apologize, 4. And I know that's not impressive to me. So my concerns are still there. You get what I'm saying? My concerns are still there about this team without Brunson. I don't know, man. Like, how does that happen against this basketball team? Man, I got my man Tony Crow in the building. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Tyler Kolek. I already know the Kolek hive is buzzing. Probably not going to like what I got to say, but, we're going to talk about it anyway. T. Crow, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling, man?
What's good? What's good, Sim? Oh, pardon me. 1 second. 1 second.
1 second.
All right, I'm good.
Yeah, there we go.
What's up? What up, Sim?
What's popping, bro?
Yeah, man. They tried to give that game away. I don't know what was going on. They looked like they came out with a mission, and then they took their foot off the gas. The Wizards got hot with the second unit. You know what I mean? Part of that was good play by the veteran Marcus Smart, who's kind of been missing in action all year, whether it's injuries or sitting out or whatever the case. But yeah, man, it was getting scary for a minute.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're supposed to be a championship, or we're striving to be a championship level basketball team, and we can't. I mean, obviously we end up closing out the game, but we have these type of lulls. We got to do better. I mean, to me, it's just indicative of not having a leader out there on the floor. You know what I'm saying? A leader, one of those guys out there that can lead the basketball team, does not allow this to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's indicative of us not having those kind of guys that will put each other in place. Like everything that we were talking about the last time we were on, after they lost to the Hornets. I don't know if you were on, but after they lost to the Hornets, everything we were talking about, the grit, the leadership, The nastiness. You know what I mean? It's giving up a 33-point lead, then it get cut to 4. Um, it's indicative of all of that.
And
You
this,
know, it,
if
yeah,
you look at it in isolation, that happens. But when you look at it coming off of our 2 worst losses of the year,
yeah.
and arguably our worst little stretch of the year, it makes you question like really where this team is. And I get Brunson's out, but the moves that we made, you would think we would be able to withstand Brunson
Should
being out.
we should
And at the very least, if not withstand being out, still be able to beat the teams we're supposed to beat with him out.
we should be
So
able to beat this Washington. We should almost be able to beat this Washington Wizards team. We should be able to compete with this Wizards team with the Westchester Knicks. We should be able to compete with them. I'm not going to say beat them, but compete with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in that mode where this is they're just in full out rebuild with this basketball team. They have some good young talent. You know, Bob Carrington is good young. They got some good young talent. I'm not saying that, but that's the type of team that they are. We were up by 33. We should have continued to smack them by 33 or more. You know what I'm saying? Um, we need some leadership. We just need some leadership out there on the floor. You know what I mean? And I don't know where it comes from. Without Brunson there, I don't know where it comes from. You know what I mean? Who does it come from? Who are you expecting it to come from?
Mikal, to be honest, Cat.
It should come from Cat. Cat is the most veteran type of guy on this team, right? It should come from Cat.
The reason I throw Mikal in there because he's the least farthest removed from being in that role.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Cat hasn't been in that role in a little bit more years,
Yeah.
where Mikal is kind of fresh off of it, even though he was fresh into it as well. You know what I mean? And it wasn't a long standing role for him. But to just put them pants on or put that hat on in the meantime, I don't think it should be a problem for him. And he did have a great game last night.
Yeah. I mean, the game, we know that he's gonna have those type of games because he's talented, right? He's talented. I'm more talking about the guy that's going to address the locker room, the guy that's going to make sure that we don't give up a 33-point lead. You know what I mean? The guy that's going to put everybody in place, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't see him ever being that.
In that case, I would say Josh Hart because
Josh Hart.
he's the
Josh
most
Hart.
vocal.
That's the guy. Right.
Out of everybody on the team.
That's the guy.
Is he talented enough? Is his status high enough for it to be receptive, or are people going to look at it as, oh, that's just Hart, and not kind of, if you yelling all the time, they don't know when when you're yelling is serious and when it isn't. You know what I mean?
I think. I think. I think he has high enough stature. Not because I don't think you have to be the most talented. I think because of his personality and who he is, I think he has enough stature in that aspect. For guys to respect him. I think that younger players are going to respect him. Deuce and those guys will respect him, and I think the older guys will respect him. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I guess my question with him is he like that with his teammates? Is he is he vocal like that with his teammates? We know he'll be like that, with the opposing team. He'll joke with his teammates, and he can be fiery on the court. But is he like that with his teammates? Is he the type of guy that's going to address his teammates in that way. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if he is that guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he's that guy that addresses his teammates that way? That's not afraid to address his teammates that way, or is he the joke guy that is fiery on the court and he's going to stand up for his teammates, but he's going to side with his teammates more times than not?
I think he is. I think he is that guy, and for the most part, everybody kind of knows who he is on his team. Um, Maybe a new acquisition. Maybe he's hesitant to do that to Cat. Maybe that's. I mean, at this point in the season, I would think he's kind of warmed up to that.
You think he
You
would
know
be
what I mean?
hesitant to Cat? Why would he be? Why? Because if
I
I was on the team, I don't think I would be hesitant to do that to Cat. I would be like,
I only say that because he. If you're not familiar with Hart, or if you don't know Hart, you may take his energy in the wrong way. You know what I mean? So you I say Cat only because he's a new addition. I don't say it because of anything personal to Cat. You know what I mean? I just mean like the other guys relatively. Mikhail knows him from previous times. You know what I mean? Like they've bumped heads already. Like he knows who
yeah,
Hart is. Obviously Brunson does. Obviously Deuce does. You know what I mean? So I single Cat out because he's new and in the starting lineup. I don't think, but that's why. If it was anybody that he gotta maybe, if anybody was gonna take offense to it, it would probably be one of the new additions.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I feel that. I don't know, man. The Knicks get the win, but I'm not impressed by the win. You know what I'm saying? It's not really. I'm not really. It's not really bringing me much confidence. The win. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's like uh, we got to do better. That's all I can say. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. Uh, we just gotta do better, or it's gonna be an early exit. You know what I'm saying? If we don't do better, it's gonna be it'll be an early exit to a team like Detroit or something. We just gotta do better. I mean, I don't think we're gonna lose to Detroit, but they scare me. It scares. I'm scary a little bit. You know what I mean? A little bit scary. Brunson should be back by then. Will he be the same guy? I don't know, but the Knicks will need his leadership, and his leadership will come into play. His leadership will be critical, I think, for the Knicks during this time. You know what I mean? Let's get to the what everybody's checking in for.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. The Tyler in the room. Let's get to that. Is Tyler Kolek ready for prime time action? That's the question. That's what everybody's waiting to hear. Right. First of all, let's dismiss lies. Let's dismiss lies. Greg said when Kolek was off the court, the team looked lost. Numerous bad passing. Offense looked awkward. I mean, the Knicks had a double-digit lead before Kolek got in the game, so I wouldn't say that. Kolek deserved more than 18 minutes, and the lead wouldn't have come down to 4 points if Kolek had more time. I disagree because I was actually just watching it again, and the lead was shaved to 7 with Kolek in the game in the fourth quarter. I mean, he was. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying let's dispel any things like that. You know what I mean? Kolek played admirably. I'll say that. I think he had some very nice passes, especially in the first half. Tony, you're blurring out, bro. Yeah, you're blurring out, probably because of the background. I think he had some very nice passes in the first half. He found he found some open shooters in the first half. That's really where his assists came. I'm still not sure he's ready. I need to see more before I'm gonna say he's ready for primetime action. That's me. I don't, he doesn't have much speed as far as breaking down the defense, and maybe that's not what he's going to be doing anyway. Defensively, he got a couple of steals. He got a few steals. Was able to play the passing lanes a couple of times. The Wizards are a sloppy basketball team. He's not afraid to shoot the ball when he gets it. I can tell you that. Um, I need to see him do it against a serious basketball team because, in my view, in my vision, the Wizards are the level of team that he would play for or against. You know what I'm saying? When you look at who's out there on the floor, besides Jordan Poole and Marcus Smart, maybe Rashawn Holmes. Because Rashawn Holmes been in the league for a while. You're playing against a lot of guys that just getting into the league or in the same situation as Tyler Kolek. You know what I mean? So, you know, I need to see more 4 points. He had a good drive to the basket. He actually worked his way to the basket on that one because like I said, he doesn't have a lot of speed, so he worked his way to the basket on that one. Made the layup, converted it and one. So those things are good. You know what I'm saying? Those things are very good. So I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just telling you from my honest opinion that let me see him really produce. And when I say really produce, I don't mean produce 10 points, 10 assists. You know what I'm saying? Let me see him produce, solid backup numbers against a decent basketball team. It don't even have to be, just a decent basketball team. You know what I mean? Before I'm ready to say that he's ready for primetime action. That's my opinion of it. You know what I mean? Because the Wizards aren't a decent basketball team. You know what I mean? The Wizards are terrible. The Wizards are the third worst defense in the league. You know what I mean? So, I'm not hating on him. I just want to see more from against another team. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and actually see him. I mean, it's clear that he is a setup point guard. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come in, he's going to set the team up and do those type of things. We knew that. You know what I mean? So I'm not expecting him to be the guy that touches the paint because he's not that point guard. Not for this basketball team, he wouldn't be. Tony, what was your take on him? Tyler Kolek.
Good game for sure. I mean, I liked what he did. I know it was 8 assists. To be honest, like a lot of the passes was basic passes. It wasn't fancy where he broke down the defense and created the pass. But what was more impressive to me is he doesn't turn the ball over. Like he don't make mistakes on the floor.
Doesn't turn the ball over.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If anything could keep him or allow him to play more time, it's gonna be that. Not turning the ball over and just not making mistakes on the floor, setting the table for getting the guys who are open the pass, making the right reads. So in that sense, I think he's very capable. The limitations come, like you said, when it has better competition. We are talking about the Wizards team, who, I don't think they were even savvy enough to target Kolek, which I think most teams are gonna do. We've already seen it in the past. But yeah, man, it just happened. It was like it was meant to be. That the basketball guys was like, "Nah, Sammy, come on back here."
Yeah, that's right. We talk about it, and let me clear something up because Mr. Sean Richardson, thinks I'm lying about Cole being in the game when the league was cut to 7. You're right. I am lying. He was in the game when the lead was cut to 9. Okay, and I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it in front of me. The lead was cut to 9 with 10 minutes and 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And at 10 minutes and 24 seconds, Mr. Tom Thibodeau substituted campaign for Tyler Kolek. Come on, I'm not dumb. I'm not blind either. All right, he was in the basketball game. He got in the basketball game in the third quarter, my friend. Pay attention and watch the basketball game. It's the problem that I have sometimes with people. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Kolek was definitely in the game when the lead was cut. As a matter of fact, Mr. Kolek knocked down a free throw in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, my friend. When it was a 19-point lead still, or made it a 19-point lead. When he got the and one. Fourth quarter, he was still in the game. Still in the game. At 10:24. The lead was 92-83. The Knicks were up by 9. So I'm sorry, it wasn't a 7-point game. It was a 9-point game when he went out. Come on, man. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. And I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. You understand? What I'm saying is one person, Greg, says if Kolek was still in the game, the lead wouldn't have been cut down when it was cut down while he was in the game. And I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying he was in the game at that point in time. That's all I'm saying. All right, it was a 20-point lead when Tyler Kolek got in the game. The Knicks were up 20, 87-67. Tyler Kolek came in with 2 minutes left in the third quarter for Anunoby. The lead proceeded to go down to 9 before he was subbed out. And I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just telling you what happened. I'm telling you the facts of what happened. So don't sit there and tell me that the lead wouldn't have dwindled if he was still in the game, because it did dwindle when he was in the game. That's all that I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna pull out things to prove your point, make sure that you are accurate with what you say. Don't pull out things to prove your point if you're wrong and it's faulty, because then that makes you look incompetent. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to use facts, make sure the facts are accurate. Because let me use accurate facts. You know what I'm saying? Now, back to Tyler Kolek. You know, I thought he did do a good job while he was in the game, especially in the first half. Not really in the second half. He only played 6 minutes in the second half, but especially in the first half when, you know, the Knicks, Mikal Bridges really caught fire in that first half, and he was finding Mikal Bridges, did a good job finding the player who was hot, finding an open player. You know what I mean? I think he took one chancy pass. He did a cross-court pass to Mikal Bridges. You know, that's kind of chancy. You know what I'm saying? But it got there. You know what I mean? And he and they converted. So, you know what I mean? It was definitely a good outing. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely a good outing for him. You know what I mean? Back to what you were saying about him making mistakes. He doesn't take many chances. You know what I'm saying? Which, cool. He doesn't take many chances, so he's not going to make mistakes. And I don't have a problem with that at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially at this, you know, you come in, run the team. If you can run the team and you know, do what you can do. You know what I mean? Let me get to the super chat real quick. Mr. Chuck D. Salute, gents. Mr. Chuck D, appreciate you. Always great to hear from the legend. Tyler makes the most sense off the bench when JB catches an 8-minute breath. He fed the wings, spread the floor. Defense is a will and team effort. He's young, small, but can do that with no turnovers for 8 minutes. Salute, Sim and Tony. Salute to you, Chuck D. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Always appreciate you in your opinion. I want to see more from Tyler. I want to see more from what he can do. You know what I mean? Against some legitimate NBA teams. You know what I mean? So, Mr. Greg and Mr. Sean, I'm not hating on Tyler. I just want to see him do it against legit teams. You know what I'm saying? And I feel positive that when he gets an open three, like he got an open three in the first half, he shot it without hesitation. He didn't make it, but he shot it without hesitation, and it looked good. And there was another time when he caught it, and maybe it was off of a miss, not his miss, but someone else's miss, and they kicked it out to him. And I thought he was going to take it. I yelled, shoot it, but he kicked it off to maybe Mikal Bridges, and I think Bridges turned it over. You know what I'm saying? But he's not afraid to shoot the ball. He's a confident player. You know, and maybe this would be the start of him getting some more burn. I don't know how long Deuce is going to be out, but maybe this would be the start of him getting some more burn and then gaining that confidence from Tom Thibodeau, because we know what Tom Thibodeau is all about. Confidence. You know what I'm saying? So his confidence in the player. It's all about his confidence in the player. You know. What you think, Tony? You know, do you think this is the beginning of Tyler getting some playing time, getting some serious playing time with this basketball team?
I mean, as long as we got two guards out, I don't see how he can't play. You know what I mean? As long as Deuce is out, as long as Brunson's out, I think we have no choice.
Got to play.
Right. You know what I mean? We need another ball handler. We need another guard. In this situation, so absolutely, this is his opportunity. And again, let's say you agree, or you are one of those guys that Tibbs needs to play him. He should have been playing him. If you acknowledge the facts on how it works and what they are, this is his opportunity now to make his way into Tibbs' circle of trust. You know what I mean? So he took a step forward last game. He has to continue to do that to get fully in there.
Right.
I think it's an opportunity he has to take advantage of.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be given to him. It's not going to be given to anybody, not with this team, not with this coach. So this is the opportunity you got to take advantage of. And he did it he did it last game. Let's see if he could continue to do it. That's how Deuce got his shot. You know what I mean? That's how everybody gets their shot on his team.
That's how everybody gets their shot. Wesley Robinson, he said, I'm checking in from Strong Island, New York, the home of Chuck D, the legendary Chuck D, who just hit me with the super chat. Appreciate that once again. Rakim, EPMD, De La Soul, Jim Brown, Dr. J, Rock Marciano, Biz Marquis, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, Freddie Fox, Craig Mack, and Method Man. Wesley, appreciate you, my bro. Definitely appreciate it.
Freddie Fox, Bumpy Knuckles.
I just seen, who was it that I just seen on there? Somebody said, forget about Tom Thibodeau's circle of trust. That doesn't make sense to me. Sean said, F Tom Thibodeau's circle of trust. That doesn't make sense to me. How can you say that when he's the coach? Whether or not you like the coach, he's going to play the players that he trusts. I mean, we've been over this time and time again. You know what I'm saying? He's going to take the players that he trusts. And he's going to play the players that he trusts. All right. Some players are going to be situational. Some players are going to get major playing time. You know what I mean? And, you know, the way that you climb the ladder is you start off situational and you become a rotation player at some point. You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to, I'm a middle of the road person. I stay here. I try to stay here. You know what I'm saying? Not get too high, not get too low. I try to stay middle of the road. You know what I'm saying? And look at things objectively. So as much as people try to say I'm hating on him, I'm not hating on him. I just want to see him do it against legitimate basketball teams, not the Washington Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Greg, I have to admit, I have to agree with Greg right here. He said Kolek is also a great communicator. He was communicating with his team the entire time on the floor. He's a leader. Very much so. You know what I'm saying? I would see him out at the top of the key, looking over to Tom Thibodeau, like, hey, what we talking about? What we doing right here? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? Looking for the instruction. I seen him a couple of times get frustrated because people didn't go where I think they were supposed to go. Right, he's at the top of the key, and I see him shake his head like, "What are they doing?" You know what I'm saying? I did see him talking to players, telling people where to be on the floor and those type of things. So, that's definitely good. And to have a young player to be confident enough to do that with older teammates is a big positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a big positive. You gotta have you there's no lack of confidence with the kid. You know what I mean? Like Frank was, he had the confidence to do that. You know what I mean? He didn't have the confidence to do that. He tried every once in a while, but Frank didn't have the confidence. Tyler Kolek definitely has the confidence. But speaking of Frank, we also saw Frank have some 30-point games with the Knicks. At least one. We saw him have a 20-point game. So they were few and far, very, very few and far between. You know what I'm saying? So, let's just stay middle of the road with Tyler and let him climb the ladder. I think that Tom Thibodeau, and listen, you know, against a team like the Washington Wizards, the perfect type of team to put him out there to play and keep building that confidence to say, okay, right, you did it, and you played 18 minutes in the NBA game. We play the Dallas Mavericks next, a team that's very much like the Wizards right now, with they got massive injuries. They're basically playing a G League team. As a matter of fact, the Dallas Mavericks, I read something the other day that the Dallas Mavericks could be the first team to have to forfeit games because they don't have enough players, right? So this is another perfect game for Tyler Kolek to play and produce. You know what I'm saying? This is not the type of team that I'm talking about when I say I want to see him perform against a legit team, but this is a perfect situation for him. The Wizards, the Dallas Mavericks, a team that's playing G League players, perfect situation for him to build that trust, perform, and build that trust with Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm saying perform, fellas, I'm not talking about major numbers here. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the type of numbers that, do what he did. You know what I'm saying? 4 points, 8 assists, 3 steals, something like that. Do what he did. But, the Mavericks are decimated with injuries. I would see no reason to bring Deuce back, even if he was healthy. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and let him play in this game. What do you think, Tony? Do you think do you think Tibbs will continue to play him? I mean, I think Tuesday night he's gonna play.
Yeah, I think short term, yes. Long term, maybe not so. Even here's the thing that I will acknowledge again with Tibbs, he has tendencies. If you pay attention, you know. So right now, the pecking order has campaign ahead of Kolek, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's why I'm saying short term, yes. Long term, no. When Brunson's back, you know what I mean? That pecking order gets back to where it was, and it's hard. It takes a while before Tibbs makes that decision where he's gonna flip somebody. You know what I mean? Like, so if Kolek is gonna leapfrog campaign, before that happens, Tibbs is gonna give campaign every opportunity to keep his spot in that pecking order.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not just about Kolek.
Yeah.
It's also about the guy he's beating out.
Right.
That Tibbs has to give him every shot to lose it.
Yeah. And you've got to see some undisputed success with Kolek on the floor. You know what I'm saying? You got to undisputed success. So I think he plays against Dallas because that's a perfect time for him to play. He should play against Dallas. Just looking at how decimated they are. Um, you know, like they're very. I mean, they're just decimated. Kyrie's out with a torn ACL. Anthony Davis is out. You know, they're playing with just young guys. Yeah, I don't even know who they're playing with, to be honest with you. But I did read that they might have been close to forfeiting basketball games.
This is basketball karma when you tank to not give us the pick that you owe us.
Word.
You
For
know what I
real.
mean? Strange things start happening
For
after
real. For real. Right. Uh,
that. You
Paris
got one
Douglas
before
said,
that too.
oh, did I? Make sure I get it. He said, build on what people can do to condemn is failure. Uh,
It's
yes.
probably preferencing the previous one too.
Okay. Okay. So let me go back to that. Yes, you build on what people can do, but you can't discount what they can't do, especially if what they can't do. And I'm not referencing Tyler Kolek right here at all. I'm talking about any player. If what they can't do is what you need, then you might not be playing that guy for someone who gives you what you need. You know what I mean? Paris Duggar, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate it. He said, my background is being successful as a coach and player. The secret to success is making use of your lesser personnel. The theory of not playing a person because of what you perceived not ready is ridiculous. You get talented people ready. I disagree. Right? I agree with some of what you said. You said the secret to success is making use of your lesser personnel. I agree with that. Definitely. And sometimes making use of your lesser personnel means that they're a very good practice player and they challenge your players who are getting playing time. Sometimes that's very good use of your personnel. There are so many different parts of a basketball team that you don't see on the basketball court that help a basketball team to win. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes making the best use of your player is developing that guy. And developing that guy doesn't, everyone always says you have to develop by playing games in the NBA. That's not the only way that you develop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to play basketball because you got to put into action the things that you've learned. But there's also the mental part of the game. The part of the game that says this thing is not just given to you. I'm going to respect it, so I'm going to continue to work. We've seen so many players where the keys are just handed to them as soon as they step into the league, and they didn't really earn it. And then they didn't have the fortitude to keep it, and they lost it. Right? See, my difference with so many of you is I actually agree with Tibbs's process of the way that he develops young players. You make them fight through the ranks. You don't just give it to them. You make them battle. You make them earn it. You make them say, you know what? I'm not getting the playing time now, but I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna learn how to keep working. I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna prepare myself so that when I do play, I'm gonna be ready. And you know what? Not only does that set you up to be successful when you're young, it sets you up to remain successful when you get older and you're like Taj Gibson.
It
And
helps you
you're
reach
like,
that pro level when the
yeah,
time. I mean that
when that time,
professional.
when that time comes, when you're Taj Gibson, when you're PJ Tucker, and you have to stay ready because you're not getting consistent playing time. You have to stay ready though, because you might. That helps you learn how to extend your basketball career. So you guys are very, very short-sighted in what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Very, very short-sighted. This is a long career arc for a lot of these basketball players. And a lot of the things that they learn start now when they're young and how they respect the basketball game and how they learn to extend their basketball careers. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just right now. You know what I mean? And there are different ways to use your players, different times to use your players. You know what I'm saying? The coaching staff might have looked and said, you know what? This is the perfect time to play Tyler, coach. Let's play him. We're playing against a team, that's a little bit above a G League team. Only a few legit NBA players on it right now. It's the perfect time to get him out there, really get his feet wet. Deuce is going to be out. We're going to play the Dallas Mavericks. This is a nice time. Okay, let's do it. You don't know what those conversations were. It could have very well been that. Very well. That's development. You know what I'm saying? Then you bring him to the side. Hey, Tyler, how did you feel about your game? What could you have done better? What did you like that you did? Da 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 da. Here's what I saw. Let's look at some film. Let's break this down. Let's break that down. Let's talk about this. Next time you're out there, let's do this. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? There's so many more parts. Being talented is just the beginning of it. It's just the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not discounting Tyler Kolek and what he does, how he plays the basketball game. I can just tell you what I see. And I agree with the way that Tom Thibodeau develops his young players. From what I've seen, from my experience with him with the New York Knicks, I agree with the way that he brings his players along. I've seen success in it.
Agree with the outcome.
Yeah, agree with the outcomes. I can't disagree with it because I've seen the success and I've seen the positive outcomes. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen it come to fruition on this very basketball team. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what else to say with that. You know what I mean? And listen, I'll take my tomatoes. Sean throwing tomatoes, more tomatoes. I'll take them all. You know what I'm saying? I'll take them all. I'm having spaghetti tonight. I need tomatoes. I don't know. What's your thoughts on what I was just saying, Tony?
I mean, you know how I feel. Like, I don't agree with everything Thibodeau does.
They got me so mad. I'm trying to drink water with the top on. See what Sean and Greg do.
Oh, yeah. I kind of understand who Tibbs is. So you know what I mean. Like, I don't agree with everything. Sometimes I agree with the chat. Sometimes I don't. But what I'm not gonna do is go crazy over things that are out of my control. I think I'm laughing at Chuck D having spaghetti too.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, you can't argue with the process, with the track record. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do I think sometimes he waits too long, Tibbs, to kind of bring guys in? I do. I've said it in the past, but I have to look at the track record of it. It's a successful formula. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Sometimes I've been on record. Sometimes he plays guys through the necessity as opposed to a willing option. You know what I mean? I felt like that's what happened last year. And the guys who played towards the tail end of the season, that was by necessity because of the injuries mounting up. It wasn't because Tibbs, automatically trusted them from the beginning. So there is, there's a window, there's a fine line, but that's out of my control. I'm not going to, pound my chest and get crazy every time I disagree with something.
Yeah.
As far as Tyler Kolek, he was one of the guys I wanted to play early. But I know the track record of Tibbs and how things go. You know what I mean? So now it's really about him working his way in. This is an opportunity for him now.
Yeah.
What I will say is, though, he has a unique skill set that no one else kind of brings to this team in the ball handling, in the pass first mentality. You know what I mean? So that was one of the reasons early in the year I was like, he's a change of pace. You know what I mean? You got to find a niche on any team you're on to be successful. If you got a team of 5 guys that do the exact same thing, it's hard to, you know what I mean? It's hard to make a name for yourself. So he does have a niche that
he does.
That's effective, or can be effective for us. And the fact that he doesn't turn the ball over, to me, that's the most important thing that could keep him on the floor, or help him, help him take advantage of these opportunities.
Yeah. And during this time, if he continues to set his players up, his teammates will ask for him. Especially those bench guys. Greg said, I guarantee you, no matter who the opponents are, Kolek will still be an elite floor general. Elite is right now in his career. I think elite is overstepping, Greg. Who thinks pass first and have less turnovers than Brunson. It will make his team happy by feeding them like he did. I agree with almost everything you said except for elite. We just haven't seen enough of him to say elite right now. You know what I'm saying? You've got to see him against major competition to start saying that he's elite at something. He is a floor general style of player. I agree 100%. And I agree with Tony. That is something that the team doesn't really have. And he can step in, especially with that second unit, and step in and do that and be that guy, possibly. You know what I'm saying? If he can prove that he can, contribute on a higher level of play, then yeah, he does have that skill set. You know what I mean? Elite. I'm not, I'm not going there yet. I'm still trying to be convinced that he deserves playing time against, decent basketball teams. And I want to see him play against decent basketball teams. You know what I mean? Want to see him play against decent basketball teams. Yeah. So, Greg said elite. Is he better than Brunson when it comes to the passing? He may be, but please do not act like he's needs to play over Brunson. Greg, if you say that, I will ban you from the chat. Word up. I will ban you from the chat if you say that. You know what I mean? Because you know already. Andy, my man Andy.
I was just about to shout him out.
My man Andy. They're totally different players for the same position. Exactly. Chop low.
I was just about to shout him out.
Like, where these brothers at? You know what I'm saying?
My low life brother and Andy. Salute.
No doubt. Nia Walker. The front office is not willing to do what needs to get done to make this roster ready for Boston or Cleveland. We have the players, just not the right coach. Too many relationships at stake. He said the front office is not willing to do what it needs to get. I disagree with that.
I think she's referencing firing
Tibbs. Yeah, firing Tibbs. I just I don't think it's about that. I think we don't have the talent to play with them guys right now. I just don't think we have the depth. We may have the.
I feel like we just don't have the experience.
I think we need more depth. I think we need a little bit. We need one more guy, and I agree. We don't have that chemistry that they have because them teams been together for a minute. We don't have that chemistry. You know what I mean? Keith Turner said, "I like Kolek, but I ain't going too far. I ain't going that far to say he's better than Brunson." Yeah, only someone like Greg would say that. Keith, we know. The guy's just getting in the league. Can he get his feet wet before we start putting that on him? You know what I'm saying? JJ said we need a guy that can score on their own off the bench. I do agree with that. I think we need a guy. I seen something earlier where someone said next year is Kolek's time. And that could very well be. This could be that training year, get used to the NBA, get your feet wet a little bit. And then as Campaign is gone, Shamit is gone, because I don't think those guys are going to be here next year, Kolek gets his chance. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay.
And then Dadier will be in Kolek's position,
and then Dadier
screaming about that.
Yeah.
This kid.
Hopefully Dadier. Hopefully, I'm going to see Dadier play on Friday. I'm hoping. I'm going to the Capital City Go versus Westchester Knicks game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's going to play. So
if not, at least let me know. I need some personal feedback on Moses Brown.
Yes, sir.
And why we haven't brought him up.
Yeah,
in any capacity.
Yeah. We'll definitely be we're gonna sit behind the Westchester Knicks bench, right behind it. You know what I'm saying? Where all the Knicks fans will sit. So yeah, that should be. I'm hoping Dadier plays. Chad B. Ryan said Kolek is nowhere near Brunson, but his playmaking and being able to get others involved is undeniable. Yep, that's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely heady, and he's looking for his teammates. He's looking to see, what's available, who's open, and make the right decision to make the right pass. Let's talk about this Mavs game. Um, the Knicks play the Mavs on Tuesday night at home, and Dallas is just decimated. I mean, they're just decimated with injuries. I don't even know how many players they have right now. You know what I'm saying? If we and I hate that I have to say this right now because we but I have to because of the way of what we just did with last night with Washington. If we mess around and lose to the Mavs, and they just beat Detroit, by the way. Let's see who played against Detroit. So for the Mavs, who played? Spencer Dinwiddie, Klay Thompson. Okay, well, they got those two guys. Kai Jones, PJ Washington, and Najee Marshall. I mean, that's not bad, I guess. That's not super terrible. We know Spencer Dinwiddie's been able to step up and, in the absence of players, he's been able to step up and hoop. Klay Thompson can, give you buckets. I mean, last night they won. Not last night. They won against Detroit the other night. Klay Thompson had 20. Spencer Dinwiddie had 31. PJ Washington had 27. Najee Marshall had 19 and 11. Max Christie, Jaden Hardy, Dwight Powell, Brandon Williams. That's who they're playing with right now. You know what I mean?
Seemed like a formidable threat to me.
So looking at that, that's a team that's, if that was actually a team going throughout the season, would probably be a little bit below 500. I guess I'm thinking it might be a little bit below 500 or a little bit below. So that's a formidable team. If that's who plays, I would say that's formidable. You know what I mean? And if Tyler Kolek plays and he performs against the Mavericks, being formidable, that way formidable, there you go. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting the Knicks to win. We gotta win. We need to win. We need to win. We can't mess around and lose to these guys. I'm scared every time we step out there on the floor. Without Brunson, I'm a little nervous that we're not going to win the basketball game, or that we're going to have some kind of collapse, or we're just not going to have the leadership to win. Every time we step out there without Brunson, and I think that's an issue that we've really got to address in the offseason. We need another leader out there. We need another leader. Chop Low, thank you for the super chat. He said, I still think we should get the Morris twin or the vet in the G League, TJ Warren, to assist in bench depth. I don't even know if we have any spots. I mean, I don't know if we're going to have any spots. Maybe, I guess PJ Tucker. What's up with PJ Tucker?
He signed another 10-day.
Yeah.
And then if we wanted to keep more and bring some, if we wanted to keep Tucker and bring somebody else in, we would have to waive Wright.
Yeah. I don't know. The Knicks need to win against the Mavs. Take care of business. Don't play. It'll probably be a tougher game for the most part. If Tyler Kolek plays against this basketball team and contributes, that's another feather in his hat. Start to say, listen, I start to agree with Greg a little bit about that. But I don't know. Anything else, Tony?
Nah, I just knew we had to come on and discuss the elephant in the room.
If I didn't come on, people was gonna say, "Oh, Sim is running because he said Tyler Kolek wasn't ready." I already had messages saying, "Oh, you already know the Kolek hire."
Wait, wasn't somebody supposed to be calling in?
Yeah. You know what? I didn't have the number up, so we didn't
okay.
get any calls. That's my bad. I didn't even realize that. You know what I'm
So
saying? I
good.
didn't even realize it. But you know, I'm rooting for Tyler Kolek. People probably think I'm not. I'm rooting for him. I am. I'm rooting for Tyler Kolek. You know what I'm saying? Chuck said next year maybe we pick up both Moore's brothers. Together they will hold off all goons from the bench. It'll be fun. Seriously, because we need some of those. We need goons like that. You know what I'm saying? We need some guys. We need if we would have been able to keep Mook, we all know what happened in the beginning of the season. He would have been perfect for this basketball team. Just we need that type of guy, I think, on this team. I thought PJ Tucker, could be that, and not really the goon type, but that strong leader in the locker room. And maybe that's the reason why they brought him. He's obviously not playing, to be that strong leader in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if we have that type of vet. But anyway, I'm gonna head up out of here. You know what I mean, Tony? Any last thing you want to say before we roll out?
Nah, just hopefully I get a show in tomorrow. So look out for that.
If you could do that, I should be home. I don't know what time you're thinking about, but just let me know. Try to work it out.
No doubt, for sure.
Yeah.
But other than
shout
that,
out,
man.
shout out to my man Diaz. I didn't get a chance to put him up, but you guys are gonna be seeing more from Diaz on Diaz soon. So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna see more for the brother real soon. So yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we up out of here. Be easy. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't stress too much. Greg, Sean, don't start thinking about ways to come back at me. You know what I'm saying? Just be easy. Chuck, appreciate you for coming through the chat. Without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench.